What's going on in Philly? The Eagles fan base has every reason to be buzzing right now, because while there's been some bumps along the way this season, one thing is crystal clear. The young guns on defense are absolutely balling out. We're talking about a pair of second-year players who aren't just holding their own, they're dominating. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean have been nothing short of phenomenal, and they're quickly turning into the backbone of a defense that's not only young, but hungry, fast, and straight-up nasty. Let's rewind a little. Remember how high the expectations were after last season? The Eagles took Mitchell in the first round and grabbed DeJean in the second. Both of them flashed star potential right out of the gate, and by the time the playoffs rolled around, they weren't just rookies, they were playmakers. And who could forget that moment in the Super Bowl when Cooper DeJean picked off Patrick Mahomes and took it to the house? That wasn't just a big-time play. It was a defining moment that turned him into a household name overnight. Fast forward to this season, and those two haven't slowed down one bit. In fact, they've kicked it up another gear. The way they've been playing over the last couple weeks, it's been elite. No other word fits. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they were downright surgical. You want to talk about a cornerback duo putting on a clinic? That's exactly what they did. Quinyon Mitchell in particular. Man, he looked like a man possessed. And because of that dominant showing, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And it was well-deserved. Let's break down why. Mitchell played over 70 snaps in that game, over 50 of them in coverage, in a stadium that felt like a sauna, with on-field temps soaring past 100 degrees. That's the kind of stamina you can't coach. And what did he do with those reps? He was targeted 9 times and gave up just 2 catches for a grand total of 6 yards. He also recorded 5 pass breakups in a single game. That's not just impressive, that's absurd. Quarterbacks had a passer rating of just 39.6 when throwing his way. And when Pro Football Focus graded him, they gave him a ridiculous 91.8, the highest among all corners in Week 4, ahead of some serious names like Byron Murphy and Charvarius Ward. But this isn't just about one game. The tape on Mitchell over the last couple weeks shows a player who's locking guys up with consistency. You're seeing him follow top receivers across the field, mirror their every move, and make plays on the ball like a seasoned vet. And this isn't hyperbole. He's starting to play like someone who deserves to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Now, yeah, we know that award usually goes to edge rushers, guys like T.J. Watt or Aaron Donald. But every once in a while, a corner breaks through. And if Mitchell keeps this pace up, why not him? The advanced stats back it up too. On 44 coverage snaps, Mitchell was targeted 9 times and allowed only 2 completions. And it's not just the raw numbers, it's the quality of the coverage. On 7 of those 9 targets, he forced tight windows. That's an incredibly high rate. According to Next Gen Stats, his time in tight coverage totaled nearly 18 seconds. That's insane. And those 6 tight window targets? That's tied for the most since all the way back in 2018. But beyond the numbers, what really stands out is the attitude. Mitchell's got that dog in him. He wasn't backing down from anyone out there. He got up in Baker Mayfield's face, jawed a little, and even went at it with Tristan Wirfs, ripping his helmet off during a skirmish. Now look, we're not always going to advocate for that kind of energy, but sometimes that edge is exactly what you want to see in a young corner. Last year, he was more quiet, a rookie trying to find his spot. This year, he's walking around like he owns the field. And honestly, he just might. Now you throw in Cooper DeJean, and the Eagles might have the best young cornerback duo in the league. DeJean's performance against Tampa Bay, just as impressive. 18 total targets between Mitchell and DeJean, and they allowed only 7 completions for 52 yards. For pass breakups, quarterbacks throwing their way had a passer rating of just 47. You can't ask for much more than that. And Vic Fangio, he's loving what he's seeing, especially from DeJean, who's got one of the highest football IQs you'll find in a second-year player. He's not just a corner. He's playing outside, inside a slot, even taking snaps at safety. That versatility is huge. And the play he made against Tampa on that flea flicker, pure instinct. One of the smartest plays you'll ever see from a defensive back. Let's walk through it. Baker Mayfield takes the snap under center in a heavy look. DeJean is lined up one-on-one against Emeka Egbuka on the outside. The Buccaneers go for the trick play, pitching it back to Baker for the deep shot. Classic flea flicker. Most corners would stay locked on the deep route. That's what you're taught to do. But Dejan reads it differently. He sees the safety behind him and trusts that help. He takes his eyes off Egbuka, spots Chris Godwin dragging across the field, and makes a split-second decision to jump the crosser. He nearly comes up with the interception, and even though it hit the ground, the recognition and timing on that play were next level. That's the type of awareness that separates good players from great ones. And it's even more impressive when you remember that this guy is only in his second season. These two are playing like seasoned pros, and the Eagles coaching staff is letting them loose, letting them make plays and learn on the fly. And with the defensive scheme under Fangio, the sky is the limit. What makes this even more exciting for Eagles fans is how young this unit is across the board. We're talking about the youngest defense in the entire league, based on average age and snap counts. And these aren't just young guys filling out the roster. These are impact players. Guys like Nolan Smith at 23, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, both 24, Jair Brown, Reed Blankenship, Khalil Ringo, all under 26. Even the so-called veteran of the group, Zach Bond, is only 28. The core of this defense is set up to grow together, evolve together, and dominate together for years. So yeah, if you're a Philly fan, you've got every reason to be fired up. This defense is built for the future, and right now, they're already giving opposing offenses nightmares. The combination of elite talent, versatility, high IQ, and raw energy is turning this unit into one of the most dangerous in the NFL. And as the season goes on, the rest of the league better be ready, because these young Eagles, they're just getting started. But of course, it's not all sunshine in Philly. For all the promise and upside of this electric young defense, there's a glaring issue that could derail the Eagles' Super Bowl hopes if it doesn't get addressed, and fast. We're talking about the offensive line, a unit that used to be one of the most feared in the entire league. A group that set the tone, controlled the trenches, and opened up holes the size of runways for their backs. That's not what we're seeing this season. Through the first 4 weeks of 2025, this Eagles offensive line has looked more like a liability than a strength. It's honestly kind of shocking. You hear the names, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, and you assume dominance. But what we've seen so far just hasn't matched the reputation. And the struggles up front are directly impacting every part of the offense. Jalen Hurts doesn't have time in the pocket. Saquon Barkley is getting swallowed up before he can even make a move. The pass game has been inconsistent. The run game has been frustrating. And it all starts at the line of scrimmage. Now, before we dive into the numbers, let's be clear, there's still elite talent on this line. Mailata has actually been playing really well, one of the top-graded tackles in football. Lane Johnson, when healthy, still flashes greatness. But outside of that, it's been rough. Dickerson, Jurgens, and rookie Tyler Steen have been inconsistent at best and downright bad at worst. And that interior trio has been getting exposed. Take Dickerson, for example. This is a guy who came into the season as one of the highest-paid left guards in the league. But his play hasn't matched the paycheck. His pass-blocking grades have been in the dumpster. Week 1, just under 40. Week 2, a bit better at 56. Then it drops back into the 40s in weeks 3 and 4. That's not just a slow start. That's a trend. He's given up 3 sacks and 13 total pressures already. If that pace continues, he's on track to allow more than double the sacks he did in all of last year. And that kind of production, or lack of it, is killing this offensive rhythm. Jalen Hurts is constantly dealing with pressure up the middle, and that's the worst kind of pressure for a quarterback to face. It collapses the pocket, takes away his ability to step up, and limits his vision. Especially for a shorter quarterback like Hurts, interior pressure throws off everything. That's how drives stall, plays get wrecked, and turnovers happen. The numbers tell the story. The Eagles rank 25th in the NFL in yards before contact per carry. That means on most runs, Saquon Barkley is getting hit at or behind the line of scrimmage. They're 27th in run stuff rate, 22nd in overall run block win rate, 24th in pressure rate allowed in the pass game, and 26th in pass block win rate. Those are bottom-tier rankings across the board for a unit that was supposed to be one of the best in football. And when you watch the games, It's not hard to see. Saquon Barkley, who looked like a superhero last year, is fighting for his life on every touch. In 2024, before contact, he averaged almost 4 yards per carry. That's elite. He led the league in that category. This year, he's averaging less than 1 yard before contact. Defenders are in his face before he even hits the hole. It's not about his burst or explosion. That's still there. The space just isn't. We've seen the difference it makes. Last season, Barkley ripped off long runs on a regular basis, 40, 50, 60 yards. He was a constant threat to break the game open. This year, he hasn't had a single explosive run of that caliber. And again, it's not on him. He looks as dangerous as ever when he has even the smallest lane. The problem is, those lanes are rare. And that all goes back to the guys up front not getting their jobs done. Tyler Steen is another name that's been under the microscope. He took over at right guard after the departure of Mekhi Becton. And while there have been flashes, a few solid run blocks here and there, especially on Barkley's touchdowns, the consistency just isn't there. He's athletic, sure, but the technique and reliability aren't. And that's a major issue when you're protecting a franchise quarterback and trying to establish the run. Even Cam Jurgens, a player the Eagles invested heavily in and groomed as the center of the future, hasn't delivered. He's among the highest paid centers in the game now, but his performances have been subpar. The timing with Hurts has been off at times. The push in the run game is lacking. And when your interior line is getting bullied, it puts stress on every other position. The tackles can only do so much when the pressure is coming straight up the gut. What's crazy is how much of a swing this is from last year. This was a dominant unit. And now, they're dragging the offense down. And again, it's not just about stats. The tape shows it. Missed assignments, poor communication, getting beat one-on-one, and all of it adds up to a team that can't sustain drives the way they want to. You can't be a physical, downhill running team if your offensive line is getting knocked backwards. You can't have a vertical passing game if your quarterback has no time to set his feet. And this weekend's matchup, it doesn't get any easier. The Broncos are coming to town, and they've been ferocious on defense. They rank second in the league in points allowed per game. But here's where it gets even scarier. They're number 1 in sacks with 15, number 1 in quarterback hits with over 40, and number 1 in pressure rate, sitting at over 47%. That means nearly half the time they're getting in the quarterback's face. If the Eagles don't get this offensive line issue corrected, and fast, Jalen Hurts could be in for a long, bruising day. And if this group can't figure it out, it could waste one of the most balanced, dangerous rosters the Eagles have fielded in years. Because right now, the defense is championship caliber. The offense has weapons all over the field. But it all hinges on the big guys up front. That's where games are won or lost. And right now, that's where Philly is losing ground. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the NFL, and the latest buzz has Philadelphia Eagles fans on the edge of their seats. Word on the street is that tight end Harrison Bryant has officially signed with the Eagles, a move that could instantly reshape the dynamics of their TE room. Bryant, known for his reliable hands and sharp route running, is rumored to bring a new level of versatility that the Eagles have been craving. Insiders suggest that his arrival could force defensive coordinators around the league to rethink how they approach Philadelphia's passing game. Sources close to the team claim that the coaching staff is thrilled about the possibilities Bryant introduces. With his combination of size, athleticism, and football IQ, he's expected to create mismatches all over the field, potentially opening lanes for both the quarterback and the backfield. While some skeptics argue that the Eagles' tight end situation has been sufficient, the chatter in training facilities hints at a room energized by competition, one that could see existing players push to elevate their game. Social media is already abuzz with speculation about how Bryant will be utilized. Will he line up inline, flex out wide, or operate in the slot to exploit coverage mismatches? Rumors indicate that the Eagles' playbook may be about to expand in ways fans haven't yet imagined, incorporating Bryant's unique skill set into both traditional and creative formations. Meanwhile, league insiders are hinting at the possibility of trade ripples, as other teams take notice of Philadelphia's suddenly upgraded TE depth. Though nothing has been confirmed beyond the signing, the buzz alone has created a sense of anticipation in Philadelphia. The Eagles' locker room is reportedly buzzing with curiosity and excitement, with veteran players welcoming Bryant's competitive presence. Rumors suggest that this signing could mark the start of a more dynamic, multidimensional offense, and fans are eager to see whether the TE room truly becomes the hidden weapon the team has been seeking. If these murmurs prove true, Harrison Bryant may not just be another acquisition. He could be the catalyst for a new chapter in Philadelphia Eagles football. One thing is certain, the league will be watching closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.